The Adventure of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Miss Metavi Simmons. Chapter 21. Digging for Treasure. There comes a time in the life of every normal boy when he is filled with a desire to go somewhere and dig for hidden treasure. This decidedly came upon Tom one day. He failed to find Joe Harper and Ben Rogers had gone fishing, but he stumbled upon Huck Finn, the red hand. Tom took him aside and revealed the matter to him privately. "Where shall we dig?" asked Huck. "Oh, almost anywhere." "Why, it is hidden all around?" "No, of course, it is not. It's hidden in very special place, Huck. It's sometimes on islands, sometimes in rotten trees, under the end of a limb of an old dead tree, just where the shadow falls at midnight, but almost under the floor in haunted house." "Who hides it?" "Why, robbers, of course. Who do you think, teacher?" "Don't they come back for it?" "No, they think they will, but they generally forget the marks, or else they die. Anyway, it lies there a long time and gets rusty. Then somebody finds an old yellow paper that tells one how to find the marks, a paper that has to be studied for about a week because it's mostly signed." "Have you got one of those papers, Tom?" "No." "Well, then, how are you going to find out the marks?" "I don't want any marks. They always bury it under a haunted house, or on an island, or under the dead tree with one limb sticking out. There are lots of trees with their limbs sticking out, hundreds of them." "Is it under all of them?" "How do you talk? No." "Then how do you know which one to go for?" "Go for all of them." "Why, Tom, it will take all the summer." "Well, that doesn't matter. Suppose you find a pot with $100 in it, or a rotten chest full of diamonds. Would you like that?" Huck's eye glowed. "That's right, Tom. Fine enough for me. Just give me the $100 and I won't want any diamond." "All right, but I won't turn my nose up at diamond. Some of them are worth $20 each. There aren't any worth less than $1. Have not you ever seen one, Huck?" "I don't think so." "Oh, kings have bags to them of them." "Well, I don't know any kings, Tom." "I know you don't, but if you went to Europe, You'd see heaps of them. Are they in here? In his? No. Well, why did you say they were? I only mean that you'd see a lot of them, not in heaps. Heaps. Of course. Why should they want to be in heaps? Alright, but where are you going to dig first? Suppose we try that old dead limb trees on the hill the other side of Stillhouse Stream. Alright. So they got a rusty pick and a spade and set out on their 3-mile walk. They arrived hot and breathless and threw themselves down in the chef to rest. Then they worked and sweat of half an hour. There was no result. They labored another half hour. There was still no result. Do they always bury it as deep as this? Asked Huck. Sometimes. Not always. Not generally. I think we haven't got the right place. So they chose a new pot and began again. The lava dragged a little, but still they made progress. Finally, Huck leaned on his spade, wiped the sweat from his forehead with his sweep, and said, "We must be in the wrong place again. What do you think?" "It's very funny, Huck. I don't understand it." "Oh, I think what the matter is what fool we are. You must find out where the shadow of the limb falls at midnight, and that's where you dig. Then, hang it all, we've done all this work for nothing. Now we've got to come back at night. It's a very long way. Well, I'll come round and milk tonight." The boys were there that night about the appointed time. They sat in the shadow waiting. It was a lonely place, and the boys talked little. Presently, they just that midnight had come. They marked where the shadow fell and began to dig. Hopefully, the hole deepened and deepened, but every time their hearts jumped when they hear the pick strike upon something. They only suffered a new disappointment. It was only a stone or a root. "It's no use, Huck," said Tom at last. "We're wrong again." "But we can't be wrong. We marked the shadow exactly. Exactly. I know, but there's another thing we only guessed. The time, perhaps it was too late or too early." Huck dropped his spade. That's it, he said. We can never tell the right time, and besides, this kind of thing is too awful. I feel as if there is something horrible behind me all the time, and I'm afraid to turn round because perhaps there are others in front waiting for a change to jump at me. I felt queer all over ever since I got here. Well, I felt the same hug that nearly always put in the dead man when they bury a treasure under the tree to watch it. Good heaven. Yes, they do. I've always heard that. Tom, I don't like to interfere interfere with places where there are dead people. One's sure to get into trouble with them. I don't like to stake them up either. Hug. Suppose this one here was to stretch his head out and say something. Don't, Tom! It's awful! I said, let's give this plate up and try somewhere else. Tom considered for a moment and then said, the haunted house, is it? I don't like haunted house, Tom. Why? They are far worse than dead people. Dead people may talk, but they don't come sliding round in a sheet when you are not noticing and peep over shoulder all off a saddle and grin grin their teeth the way a ghost does. I couldn't bear such a thing like that, Tom. Nobody could. Yes, but Hug ghosts only travel but about at night. They wouldn't hinder us from digging there in the daytime. So, what the use for being afraid? Well, alright. We try the haunted house if you say so, but I think it's taking a risk. They had start to go down the hill by this time. They in the middle of the moonlight. Valley stood the haunted sound. Until lonely it's been gone long ago, with hitting the doorstep, the chimney in rent, the windows frames without glass in corner of the roof fallen in. The boys went far to the right to keep as far as possible from such an evil looking place.